Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a little story time video, and this one is actually kind of an embarrassing yet shitty story, and this happened maybe about 7-ish months ago, and I can't believe I never thought of doing a story time on it until recently, but looking back on it now, it's kind of funny. But then again, I also remember it very clearly, and it really fucking sucked. I thought maybe you guys would be interested in hearing this. So yeah, basically, if you can tell by the title, this is going to be the story about the time when I threw up in the intersection. And if for those of you who don't know what the intersection is, basically here in Grand Rapids, it's like a little concert venue where we have like local bands, famous people come and perform concerts, or the most times that I've been there, it's been like local shows, like local bands coming and just supporting local music. But this one particular night, this was back in maybe like April, I want to say, and me and Shane were only dating for 3 months back then. And so in April, one of his friends was having like an EDM concert thing, and he invited us to go. And me personally, I'm not that big of a fan of EDM. I mean, it's okay, but in general, it's not something that I really like to listen to, or something that I just don't really, I don't know, I just can't really get into EDM like most people. But I was like, you know what the heck, like, let's have one night out where we can just get out of the house and do something fun. So that's what we decided to do, and it was held at the intersection, so we already bought our tickets and all that good stuff, but we got there a little bit early, so we decided to get a couple drinks at a restaurant across the street, which is called the Tin Can. It's very, very popular. I've never been there before. That was my first time going there. So we walk in, and me and Shane each get a Captain and Coke. I believe we only had, I think I had 1 or 2. I had 2. We each had 2 drinks each at the Tin Can, and by the time we were done just kind of hanging out, drinking a little bit, we decided to head on over to the intersection to meet his friends, which if you guys remember on Snapchat a way long time ago where I shared that snap that says Tin Can with my man, it was that night. So yeah, we get over to the intersection, we're having a good time, we start listening to music, and that's when shit kind of starts to get a little crazy. Now it's time to get really fucked up. Like, now it's time to really turn up. And that's the only way I can really enjoy EDM music, is if I'm really freaking drunk, which is why at Carnival of Chaos, or the Music Made Me Do It Festival, which is now what it's called, they have like the rock theme to it, and then they also have like an EDM stage. I got down to the EDM last year, and that's only because I was extremely messed up. So that's really the only time I can enjoy EDM music. So I was like, alright, let's have a few more drinks, let's get messed up, like, let's have a good time, let's dance to the music. So we each got a couple more Captain and Cokes, and I also decided to take it upon myself to have a pot cookie, and that's when I broke the seal. And for those of you who drink, breaking the seal basically means is when you get up to go to the bathroom for the first time. Now, every time I'm drinking and I go to the bathroom for the first time and I stand back up, that's when I really realize how drunk and messed up I am. I'm like, holy crap, this is freaking insane. I am really freaking drunk right now. So I go back out on the dance floor, and me and Shane are dancing. We're having a really good time. And mind you, we've only been dating for 3 months, so we're still in the honeymoon stage where, you know, we're just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, we were just having a really good time. And that is also when I decided to have my very first Long Island iced tea. Now, if you guys don't know what a Long Island iced tea is, it is a very alcohol-fueled beverage. It is not a tea, in fact. It is very much filled with a ton of alcohol, and I have never had one before. So not only did I have about 4 to 5 Captain and Cokes, I also decided to add a Long Island iced tea on top of that. I did snap it. If you guys remember that, I snapped myself drinking my first Long Island iced tea. It was really freaking good from what I can remember. It was delicious. So me and Shane split one of those. He had half, I had the other half, and we were dancing, having a good time. And then I was like, I'm gonna pop outside, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. Worst possible decision I could have ever fucking made. Honestly, when you're drunk and you smoke a cigarette on top of that, it makes you like feel even more lightheaded, because obviously when you smoke, like, it's cutting off oxygen to your brain. So I decided to go out and have a cigarette, and as soon as I had like a few hits of the cigarette, I was like, oh shit. I have completely overstepped my bounds. I am way past the limit of drunk. I am like obliterated, blackout drunk. So I don't even finish the cigarette. I go back inside, and I have the urge to pee again. So I go to the bathroom, I snap myself taking a piss, and then I stand up, wash my hands, And that's when I realized that something was really, really wrong. Now, usually when I drink, I like to get drunk. I enjoy being drunk, especially like when I'm having a good time and there's music. Really, the only time of year that I get super drunk like that is at Carnival of Chaos, because it's like a music festival where you're camping out for 3 days, and that's just a time and in a place that it is appropriate to do that. So other than that, I don't usually get drunk. Like, I'll have a glass of wine here and there, or, you know, whatever. So being that fucked up and not being at Carnival of Chaos, it was just kind of like, whoa, like, this is not okay. I don't get drunk that often. But usually when I do drink, I know when to say no. And this particular night, the word no wasn't even in my vocabulary. I was so fucked up. Like, I was completely wasted. I could barely walk. So after I get done washing my hands, Shane was outside the bathroom waiting for me. And I walk out of the bathroom and I look at him and I like fall into his arms. Like, I was that girl at the intersection that night. Like, it was that bad. And also this night was the first night that I ever met any of his friends. So this was kind of like a first impression thing as well. So this night they were probably like, oh my god, who the hell is this guy dating? Anyway, so I fall into his arms and I get up to his ear and I'm like, I need to go home now. And he was like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. So, and he had been drinking water at this point, so he was good to go. I was the one who was just completely losing my fucking mind. So we start to walk towards the stash, which is like the smaller stage in the intersection, because they have 2 stages. They have like the big main stage, and then they have the little one in the front, which is called the stash, which is where the EDM concert was going on. So we make our way back that way so we can say bye to his friends, and that's when I completely lose it. Like, the first thing that I felt is I felt like a lemonade-y type taste in my throat, aka Long Island iced tea, and I was like, oh no. And I'm not even walking at this point. I'm basically just like slumped over in Shane's arms, and he's kind of like just dragging me, and that's when I start to vomit. Literally, dry heaving, vomiting, spitting up, spitting everywhere, puking, all over the intersection floor. The entire way from the bathroom out to the stash, I was vomiting. And I was seriously, like, I felt like every time that I gagged, I just kept getting more and more drunk. I don't know how that makes any sense, but I was just like, I was gone, you guys. Like, I was gone. Yeah, Shane says bye to his friends, and I can barely say bye. I'm just kind of like this, like, bye, as I'm like puking, and there's puke all over my mouth. So yeah, I puke all over the intersection floor. Honestly, I don't think anybody noticed because it was super dark. It was really loud. It kind of just looked like I was drunk in my boyfriend's arms. No one could really actually see me puking. I'm sure tons of people probably stepped in it. Sorry if you're one of those people. Totally didn't mean to. Totally unintentional. So then we make our way out of the intersection, and that's when I start puking more. I literally puked the entire way back to the car, and then he was able to get me in the car, and I just passed out. Like, I don't even remember. I just remember falling on the seat and just passing out. And before I got in the truck, there was the Tin Can, which is the place that we were at before the intersection. There was like a whole bunch of people there now because it was like a Friday night, and people were out at the Tin Can, and people were outside smoking, and they saw me vomiting, and people were like pointing, is she okay? Just like, it was so embarrassing because I'm usually not that person, but that night I was that girl. So yeah, he puts me in the truck. I completely pass out. Thank God I did not puke in his truck because he probably would have killed me. We made it home, and he gets out of the car and he's like, okay babe, I'm gonna get you out of the car, like, are you okay? And I'm just kind of like, just like making these like grunting noises. As soon as he gets me out of the truck, I just fucking release all over the parking lot. It was seriously so embarrassing. And what time was it? Oh my gosh, I don't even think it was kind of early. I want to say maybe it was like 11:30, midnight, and I am just puking everywhere. So I get back inside, I'm able to get my pajamas on, and I literally just like pass out the rest of the night. Like, I'm just gone, like, good night. The next morning I woke up, I was very, very much hungover. However, I didn't feel as crappy as I should have. I wake up and Shane's making waffles. He makes me a waffle. I can't even eat it. Like, nothing sounds good to me. Not even water sounds good to me. I literally just wanted to crawl back into bed and just die. And then I go to the bathroom to brush my teeth. As soon as I start brushing my teeth, I go to start brushing my tongue. As soon as the toothbrush hits my tongue, I start puking. Again. So not only was I puking the entire night before, but now the following morning I am continuing to vomit. And I am super embarrassed at this point because I'm sober now, obviously, and my boyfriend of only 3 months is listening to me vomit as I smell like shit, look like shit, and he's listening to me puke. And I'll never forget, like, I went out into the living room and I was like, we've only been dating 3 months and you've already seen me at my worst. So yeah, after I puked the first time, that's when I started to feel really, really sick. And mind you, I also had to be to work at 2 o'clock, and this was like at 9 a.m. or something like that. So I had like I only had a short period of time to like recover before I had to go work a 2 to 10 shift. Like, I was in a real shitty situation. I honestly tried to get myself covered that day, but no one could do it. Obviously, who the hell wants to work on a Saturday, right? So I was pretty much stuck doing it. And literally from the minute I puked in the morning, I continued to vomit every 30 minutes until 1:30 in the afternoon. So it was such a shitty day. I literally thought I had alcohol poisoning for a minute because it was like uncontrollable vomit. I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't keep water down. So I was like, oh my god, I freaking gave myself alcohol poisoning. Like, cool, smart, way to go, Bree. Like, good thinking. But I took a little bit of a nap. I woke up, I took a shower. I was able to take little sips of water, and then I made myself some just plain quinoa rice and put it in a thing to bring it to work with me. And finally around 2 o'clock, I made it into work. I literally had no makeup on. I just threw my nasty hair up in a bun, put my uniform on, no makeup, and I walk in there and everyone's like, are you okay? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just feeling a little sick today, but I'm ready to go. So I literally worked that whole closing shift hungover as fuck. And literally, like, everyone who came in, they were like, ooh, are you okay? You don't look very good. And I'm like, I'm just really sick today. Like, I honestly cannot, like, I've thrown up from alcohol before, obviously, from getting too drunk, but this was like the first time ever where I have like been uncontrollably vomiting. Combination of Long Island iced tea and Captain and Coke, because you never say, you know how they say like don't mix your lights and your darks, which is very true, don't ever do that. But yeah, that was my super embarrassing story of how that happened and how I threw up all over a concert venue and everyone was staring at me. It was just not a good time. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this embarrassing story time. If you did, make sure to give a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to go down and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!